Last time on The Great Ace Attorney 2.
This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning.
Oh, how lovely! Look at Sue's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
If only I knew how to read.
In her letter, Miss Susetto asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings.
That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
No, really?
Do you know what it's all about?
Me?
Oh,
no,
you got changed quick.
No, although I do feel that now that we know, we should probably get on going.
Oh, actually, I need to go pick up some milk from the shop. Don't mind me, just popping out for a bit.
I've got a pawnbroker I need to visit for no particular reason.
But Hurley, he's
I'm
dead.
though.
But, I don't know if you recall, but there are many pawnbrokers all over London. Well, who can say?
Yes, this is a person who can hear you. You're literally sitting about a foot away from me, rifling through my possessions, rifling through my notes. It's all very rude. I'm staring at this rat on the floor. The rat's eating better than I am. They'll feed it, but not me!
Should we rifle through a bag as well?
No, why not? We've got
we may as well. We may as
We've
well.
gone through everything else.
All right, then let's see what's inside, even though this bag is about half an inch in front of her. She just, again, slowly maintaining eye contact while he slowly opens the bag and starts pulling stuff out. It's like,
They just stare at each
Sir,
other.
do you quite mind? To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thin. I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time.
Is there Mr. Narrow Fodder here?
Mr. Narrow Fodder!
Mr. Narrow Fodder! Narrow Fodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo... Oh, Mr. Narrow Fodder, good! This is for you. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. What?
Saucy Nutsmeg!
Soseki Natsume.
Saucy Nutsmeg!
From a... Oh.
Soseki Natsume.
It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg.
Not.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope that, it was pleasant. Ours certainly was.
Yeah.
But before we hop on in, I'm Taylor.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Sarah.
Nice.
And again, one more thing before we get started. If you do like what we do and would like to see more, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to receive notifications about when we post new content. Then, leave a like if you like it and comment down below. We do like to see them and we like to respond to them.
Indeed.
Indeedy doody. And now we've got to try and remember where we left off because it might have been.
We are in. Oh, it's Shamspeare. It's Mr.
Yes.
That's
Shamspeare's
Shamspeare.
apartment.
William
That's the one.
Shamspeare.
That's the one.
And he
And
did.
Does he
yes,
live above?
Soseki has been framed for murder again. And yes, he's been framed for murder again in a case that definitely happened in the first game, but was kept so secret that even we weren't aware of it. But yes, it definitely totally happened. It wasn't cut content for the first game that they're trying to retroactively add in. No, certainly not.
No, absolutely not. Didn't we discover that he lives above Soseki, right? Soseki, Mr. Natsume lives on the...
Was that, no, I think it was below. I think he lives on the first floor.
Well, okay,
Soseki
but
lives
he's
on
in the
second.
same building.
Yeah.
Yes, he's in the
Right.
same
Yeah,
building.
he's in
yes,
the
yes.
Garrideb
Cool.
household somewhere.
And nice to see the avoidance of the window tax there. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
But doesn't Mr. Garrideb have a bad leg?
Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking.
how dare you, sir?
That sounds a bit like slander!
I'm not jittery. I'm actually slumping right now.
I mean, you do seem as though you've always got the world on your shoulders, which I don't blame you, seeing as how you always seem to be accused of murder. I don't know if you'll have a descendant later on or something, but I imagine that whoever she is, she'd also face similar circumstances. Oh, he's got the sandals on as well.
He
Oh,
has.
yeah.
It's been
He
quite a
has.
kick indeed. Sandals are a curious choice for Britain.
Especially
It's
with
a little
the rest.
cold for sandals.
Also, with the rest of his attire, they don't really match in to me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a contrast.
He's doing the remote worker setup, right? Where it's like, from the waist up, you have to be dressed up. But then, underneath the desk, it's just fuzzy slippers and
anyone's
pajama
game.
bottoms.
It's like, yeah, pajama bottoms and fuzzy slippers.
It's all about the comfort game. We should probably
Really?
record some.
Soseki-san.
We should probably continue, is what I meant. Not record some.
That's what we're doing.
I didn't mean. Yeah, I know what I meant. I'm falling over myself.
The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes.
Oh dear.
He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it.
Oh dear.
Miserable life and a miserable end to it. To it? To it?
Do it.
To it? I don't, for all of the Scottish stuff that we did on our little holiday, I don't know why I'm struggling with it, but
I'm so sad we didn't record that. That could have been a bit. Just going around Boston screaming in Scottish.
So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here, other than looking miserable? He's not involved with the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene?
well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious.
This sounds a little bit like slander.
But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the culprit, I mean cohabiter.
What was that?
What?
Nothing. I'm just saying that you live in the same house and you look guilty. I mean a bystander.
He does seem to have that natural sort of that expression, doesn't he? That
It's the only problem when you look nervous, like you have a nervous disposition. You always look guilty of something.
Yep. True
You
that.
nearly said culprit there, didn't you?
Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
You're not really helping him, Mr. Narrowbolt. Poor man. How unfortunate.
I just want you to know, I can hear you. Again, it's just kind of like they're just out of earshot. It's like, oh yes, it's really tragic how suspicious and hunched over he looks. I would hate to be like that. It's like, oh.
I can hear you! I can hear you!
That's very hurtful.
Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been a goner that long. The body's still warm.
Ew.
Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body.
No, we haven't got Kyoko with us.
No.
So
Or Mikon.
no.
No.
Okay, so we've investigated everything except for himself. Have a chat.
What a terrible thing to... what a terrible thing to have happened.
It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside.
Oh wow, he didn't waste any time.
And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences!
I don't really blame him for having an eye twitch at this point. I mean, I guess he had one before this, but like at this point, if you get falsely accused of murder within like a 3-day span, yeah, I feel like you're justified in being a little twitchy and just generally uptight.
Oh, so he lives above him. Okay.
So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just one story above, isn't it?
No, Soseki lived above.
That's what I mean.
Oh, sorry, I thought you just said the reverse. I'm just...
Well, it could have come out wrong, but
anyway,
yes.
Soseki lives on the next... the middle floor.
Mm.
Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose.
So did you know the victim? Were you friends?
No comment.
No. What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it?
Is it me or is it cold in here?
Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? No, never! On my honor, I swear it!
What's an extreme reaction?
Are you feeling a bit self-conscious about something there, fella?
What are you writing down over there? I didn't say anything! How dare you! I am what? Oh my goodness, I can't even find my words!
You're probably wishing you never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there!
Okay, inside voice, please.
Freaking Sholmes has appeared
Wait
now!
a minute! Something seems to be different about the scene than it was before. Can you point to the thing that's different in this scene from before?
It's just the...
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! I sense a headache!
He's doing the JoJo
for
pose
God's
even.
sake!
All right, I guess we'd best. I guess we'd best like make out that we've noticed
We'd best
him, right?
discuss the elephant in the room.
We'd best.
The Herlock in the room.
Come on, everyone, let's acknowledge him so that he gets down and gets on with it.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
Ah, you need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally.
No, again, this is a JoJo pose. Like, I really feel as though it is. There's nothing... There we go. There's nothing natural about that pose.
Ta-da! Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Oh, no.
Don't
Patience,
encourage
my
him.
dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes.
Actually, by my estimation, we've been in this room for about 2 weeks now.
So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened.
My goodness!
And I'm absolutely sure that there's no way that you're going to undermine me in just a moment.
Yes. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way.
Oh, where's the paracetamol? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Need an aspirin.
At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life.
Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow?
No, don't mind me. Forget I was here.
Okay.
And my second conclusion, other than Mr. Soseki over there being completely out of it, is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips.
Well, let's hope
Nonsense!
That's a face. That's a face.
That's what we call the nutcracker right
Yeah.
there with the teeth.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? Because odds are he hasn't...
No, please! Pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant!
Impossible to ignore.
I am like a fly on the wall.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
Oh, my dear fellow. But of course. Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts.
Oh dear, it looks like we're going to have to do some controverting of the incontrovertible. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past.
I love the disdain. It's
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
yes, some truly astounding.
No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time?
For once he gets
So-
it right.
My dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1.
There it is.
And then here comes the spotlights. The game
Here
is
he goes
afoot.
again.
Conclusion. Cause of death.
Oh dear.
There it is. Careful observation of the victim.
What? Where did this come from?
Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Oh dear,
dear.
that's not good.
Oh.
I don't like. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap.
Oh,
Me-
yeah, soap. I was guessing either cheese or butter.
It
Yeah,
looks
I
like
thought
butter.
I like moldy butter though. It's like green. 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact?
I mean, I've heard of washing your
Yes.
mouth out with soap, but that's ridiculous.
It's more like the victim's last soaper, wouldn't you say?
Oh, very good, Mr. Naruhodo, very good. That's expressions like, really?
that expression. I do like that.
I
Really?
like the font here on the highlighted bit.
What, where it says fork?
Pork.
Of course, the fork!
Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork! Like, of course. The fork reveals the answer. Oh no. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. And I'm going to start boxing because I'm so excited. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though, personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course.
What do you... I mean, I know times were hard, but Jesus!
Sometimes I find it's not even worth questioning it, is it, really?
Well, no.
I mean, I guess back then soap was made of animal fat, so...
The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder?
Soseki,
I'm
you-
sensing a pattern with the whole Soseki thing.
Yeah, he's not doing himself any favours here.
The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. Oh God, it's looking like it's pointing everything at me. I was here. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Oh no, that's exactly what I did! Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear
please,
fellow.
no,
Oh God, Please, no!
Wait, you know what? This is why he's always looking over his shoulder. It's not the spirits. He's worried that Herlock Sholmes is going to pop up behind him at any
that
given
wouldn't
moment.
surprise me, because like Herlock did sort of. I suppose this makes sense because he did say last time round that Sholmes was the reason he ended up in prison.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the second time this is happening.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh no, not again, not again. It wasn't me, I tell you! Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key, which you can see there's no keyhole, was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. Why is that the smell relevant? And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end. In tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter.
Oh, you put such a positive spin on it. Truly, my spirits are lifted, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, very good, sir. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction.
Mr. Sato, do you believe any of this shit? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
sorry.
gavel.
There it is. The
Sorry.
customary gavel.
Sorry.
Emphasis on the cuss.
Well, that was worth the shot.
Although I have to say, I'm got quite a splitting headache now.
I mean, I've seen that dead guy's performance, and I have to say, Herlock did a way better job.
Mr. Sholmes, I believe your existence is proof of a god, because anything less than a perfectly benevolent creator would explain how you've managed to survive this long.
There's just 1, 2, 3, 10 things, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, really? That many? My goodness. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you?
Everything.
Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap?
It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
How extraordinary.
In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past.
You've eaten it, you mean?
My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
And did it?
I'd rather not talk about it.
When the suds emerged out the other end, it was most
As
intriguing.
I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did.
I was also blowing bubbles out of my bottom for weeks.
The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it.
How, believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did.
There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh, what's that?
That's, well, I mean, he is pretty troubling. It's Mr. Natsume.
I mean,
Ah!
yes?
Oh no! Ah!
I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye.
It's my natural disposition. Think
mean,
nothing
it
of it.
wasn't-
Ignore it, please.
I don't think you would even need the corner of your eye, really. It's not as if he's very subtle about it.
He was like dancing in the middle of the room.
Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow.
Given the way he reacted,
Nonsense!
Given the way he reacted, it's more like it grabbed the nerve and shook it about vigorously. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last.
judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction,
That he might have murdered him after all.
the great detective's deductions may need some
Ah,
gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth.
Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp.
I get the sense that you might be thinking about making some corrections to my observations, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm not
Oh,
entirely...
you've actually got the deduction right for once. Bully for you.
Yeah.
He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle.
I mean, a nail in the coffin is a nail in the coffin. That's what I like to say.
When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. With a claw hammer. All right, then, let's see what we can do.
Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions.
I like to imagine the brilliant was sarcastic and quite brilliant deduction.
And discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that,
I can hear you, you know.
I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
Yeah. I can hear you. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? He seems to be so happy that they're going through it. I'm just like, totally fine. I feel like, excuse me, are you suggesting that my deductions are incorrect? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise for Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! Act 1.
Is there going to be a 15-minute intermission between the acts?
Hold it,
So I
Mr.
really
Sholmes.
need to pee.
Okay,
Here we go
so
again.
here we go again. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. I nearly struggled on the word again. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Now, can we... Nope, we can't. We just have to go through everything again, don't we? Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposely upon the dish, like the victim's last supper? In fact, yes. Could it be the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork reveals. I love that expression.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like,
now it is.
It's
like-
just-
Well, you
proper
can't
Death
deny that
Star.
a fork implies the man was eating something or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than attempt it with chopsticks.
And, of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate.
How big was that bar of soap?
Is that like that's not half?
That's one heck of a bar of soap.
You need a wagon to transport it from the store where you bought it all the way back home.
It's like a full-on soap brick.
Yeah. But might there not be some other explanation?
You're there in the shower and then you drop it on your foot. No,
jeez.
I'm afraid.
And then you go in hospital,
I'm
yeah.
terribly
Yeah.
sorry, but I think we're going to have to amputate.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Now, where did I put my bone saw?
Ugh. Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap.
Oh,
Oh.
the other
Other
half
piece
of the
of
Yeah,
soap.
there
I
we
mean,
go.
it conveniently looks like the break is exactly the same, but I mean, what do I know?
So that would show that he didn't actually eat any of it then.
Yeah.
Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspeare must really have loved this stuff.
Shamspeare.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at this soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table?
I don't know, the resolution is a little low. How can that be?
I think that there are two halves of the same bar that broke apart.
But yay! They figured it out. It's like so obvious. Oh, do I have to present it? Is that what it is?
You have to present them.
I pressed the wrong button.
Take that!
Oh! Oh my goodness! Please don't wave the broken glass so close to me.
Could it be that the man was about to eat it? of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer.
Oh, I must say I didn't notice that. It being the other half of the soap on the table. Now, it being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all, even though just a moment ago I said that he was.
Well, he does
But-
have a record for oversight, doesn't he?
And just like, I mean, yes, it's the whole like, it's like now, okay, now I'm going to retcon that I even suggested the idea before. But it's obvious, really. For no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. This is what I mean.
Wait
It's
a
like,
minute!
Wait a second. You're just bald-faced lying now.
Did you not say only moments ago that you have done it yourself with the intention to cleanse your gut? Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Sholmes, you tried to gaslight me.
It's like, even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite.
I mean, that was stupid enough in itself.
but that begs the question of how the man was poisoned.
The Rianovsky.
Teacup.
Rianovsky. My dear fellow.
Someone, my man has dropped his single brain cell on the ground on the way in.
Somebody didn't give him the brain cell pillow back.
No, it didn't give him the brain cell pill yet.
I'm going to be honest, I'm with Rianovsky right now. I'm a bit confused.
Really?
Yep.
You didn't notice that there happens to be a vessel upon which you pour in tea on the table?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What do you do with
Yeah, the
tea?
teacup.
Yeah.
You drink it.
Okay.
You ingest it.
I am Rianovsky right now.
Taylor, where's the brain pillow?
Yeah. Oh, darn it! I was sitting on it. My bad.
Oh,
Here you go.
Taylor.
You gotta ship it. You gotta
How
ship
could
it over.
you?
But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table.
An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. Observe, for London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes.
That is a thick bar of soap as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a thick boy.
Like, I could imagine trying to use that. Like,
Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. You could say he's really standing on a soapbox.
perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it.
Like a horse with the
Like a salt lick.
the salt lick. Yep. Okay.
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Kissed himself to death.
He what?
Kissed himself to death.
Oh, I thought you said something else for a minute.
I don't know what.
Well, what rhymes with kissed? That might be a naughty
Oh, I see. A Gavalosaurus Rex word.
word. Yes.
I guess the-
Gavalosaurus Rex.
The teacup. Wait, sorry. What was the question?
Yeah, I think it's the teacup because there's a stain
The
on
victim- Yes, the victim's life was claimed by.
Where could the poison have been laced?
I mean, obviously. I mean, you guys said the teacup or even the fork, but probably the
Yeah,
teacup.
it could have been the
I-
fork, but
yeah,
I think
I'm
it's the
curious
teacup
what he's
because if
doing
there's
with
no
the
sign of
fork.
any food, then
Yeah.
yes,
He calls it a vessel.
a Western.
A Western vessel.
So the reason why we find that so amusing is while we
Oh,
were
yeah.
on holiday, because
It's-
we all
I guess it's worth mentioning before you say while we're on holiday. While it may not be apparent to our viewers, we actually took a brief break,
Yes.
and so you may continue. We had a holiday.
yeah. So we took a brief break, and Pete and Sarah came out to visit us here in the States.
Yeah.
And when we were in a hotel room in Boston, which was our first stop, Pete wasn't really sure what to call the little containers of creamer.
Well, I said
And
I
so-
said they were like milk cartons. I said cartons, even though they're clearly not
Yeah,
cartons. I
the
guess.
lady on the desk was a bit unsure on what he meant.
Yeah.
And so I think during the conversation,
I didn't
he eventually
say
threw
it.
out the word, "Could I?"
I didn't say it.
Can you
I
let
said
him
that to you
finish?
guys afterwards. All right, sorry.
Oh, right, okay. He was when he was recounting the story, he was like, I wasn't sure what to call those little vessels of creamer, and we just, for whatever reason, We just really laughed incessantly about that. And we started
Any
referring to
kind of
everything as being in
container.
vessels.
Yeah, any kind of container is now a vessel.
It's those little things that you get when you go to on a holiday. When you go to a hotel and they give you like the tea and coffee making facilities, and they have those little containers of
like a
of milk or
UHT
creamer and
milk
whatnot. That's what we're
carton, like
referring
little
to.
tubs.
Or if you're American, then it'll be like Coffee Mate or whatever.
Or coffee. cream.
Coffee.
Half and half.
Unfortunately,
Half and half.
Pete was in for a rude awakening because while he did request cream, there is no cream in American coffee creamer.
We had to educate him on what half and half was as well.
Yeah, I thought it was like a sort of a not vegan, but I thought it was supposed to be like a sort of a lighter.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
alternative.
It now makes the Scott Pilgrim joke like much more make much more sense to me when when Todd, is it Todd, has the half and half.
Oh,
and
who,
then
the vegan, the
and he
super-powered
loses his
vegan?
Oh,
powers.
yes, yeah.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because he switched his soy milk with half and half.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I didn't know what it was.
It contains dairy products of 2 varieties.
Anyhow, we should probably we should
Sorry,
probably
we got off track.
circle back
Now
round.
that we've provided that backstory of the joke, yes, a
completely
Western vessel
irrelevant.
for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves, otherwise known as a teacup, which we definitely have in Japan.
Oh, there we go.
They are Taylor and Sasato on the same wavelength.
It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Stop putting on airs. And it's empty.
Ah, so we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking a steeped beverage from within this Western vessel designed specifically for the serving of it.
Mr. Naruhodo, he was drinking tea.
Well, if you want to make it sound significantly less fancy, then yes.
My thoughts exactly.
Let's
guess
look. We'll have a look at the fork, but I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be the teacup.
If the victim didn't eat the soap, then what did he eat?
Yes, it's a real mystery, isn't it?
Ah, I've got it! He wasn't interested in eating the soap at all. It was this fork he wanted to satisfy his hunger with.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Oh
Mr.
dear,
Naruhodo,
oh
I thought
dear.
my deductions were wild, but my goodness. Mr. Naruhodo, I really don't think it's helpful to continue with this line of reasoning that the gentleman had particular tastes.
Peculiar taste.
Peculiar tastes.
Susato-san has such a gentle way with words, but I know when I've been told off.
See, now I'm glad we clicked on the fork. Right, okay, the teacup.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Take that!
Oh no! Stop breaking windows!
But, Miss
Yes,
Soseki-san,
the victim's life was claimed by the poison that tainted the teacup.
There are no windows.
What?
Window tax, Mr. Natsume. Window tax.
Then what on earth keeps breaking in front of my eyes?
I think you're
The
imagining
fourth
things.
wall, I'm afraid.
Oh gosh!
There it is again.
Indeed.
Oh, God.
Cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop.
There's no sign of... I feel as though there's someone over my shoulder, but I don't know... Oh, Soseki-san, are you quite all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh,
It is interesting to me that his eyebrow, because it's like, if you look at Ryunosuke's eyebrows, right? They're clearly like the same material slash texture slash whatever. But when you look at Soseki-san's eyebrows, like the rest of him is one kind of shade, but then he's got the Yoshi's Story eyebrows.
they're like painted.
Yeah, they've been like roughly sketched on and painted.
Yeah.
Or he draws them on himself.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
There's no sign of food anywhere in the room.
I guess fashion's come full circle. Which
There he
leads
is doing
us
it.
to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. As I said before,
Yeah.
definitely. Swing.
Excellent. Moving on.
Moving on to my second great deduction that you won't need to correct.
Nah.
The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide, or murder? Suicide! Yeah. See, the audience will recall the death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer.
Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that. But what troubles me
Is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems.
We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues.
Did he wine and dine alone?
Oh. Oh!
If only the camera would allow us to pan round a little further. So he...
Uh-oh.
Wait, so he... What?
How has that cup managed to stay in his hand?
You know, I was thinking the same thing about the fork, right? Because, like,
Yeah.
usually, I mean, I suppose if you're clutching them when you die, rigor mortis can just kind of make them stick. But, like, usually,
Stick.
you know, before you die, your grip will loosen.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, Gregson said the body's still warm, so that, like, rigor mortis would not have occurred yet, and it doesn't. I don't think it happens that quickly. But yeah, I'm quite amazed by that. Unless, like,
But does it kind of like undermine... Well, I suppose it perhaps doesn't. I was going to say, does it undermine our previous deduction? Because we were basing the whole poison thing on the teacup here, but then obviously this is his actual teacup. I also find it amusing that we couldn't notice it this previous time in the previous bit.
Sholmes noticed it. Even.
Like nobody noticed it. It's like, oh,
Well, it was a bit like the glass onion knives out thing, where it's like, you know, the stuff that was going on in the
spoil it.
background was...
don't spoils it.
Oh, it spoils it.
Oh, right, you're
Spoil
right.
it.
You're
I don't know
right,
if
my
it's
bad.
out over here.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually.
I haven't checked.
Oh, sorry, it's me. It's a teacup,
I can say-
and it too is empty.
Got a big crack on it though.
Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand,
God's sake, I don't see it. I don't see the pointer change. I miss it.
Like,
could assume-
Susato, are you all right, Susato?
Yes. Oh, was it me?
Sorry, I was so distracted.
Susato.exe is loading.
I was so distracted by the tea vessel.
Tea vessel.
No, the Western vessel for infusing hot drinks.
Oh, thank you.
We can assume that this cup from which Mr. Shamspeare... We can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamspeare was actually drinking.
But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we've deduced up till now is turned on its head.
Yay! He pointed it out.
I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Yes. I know exactly how you feel.
Oh no! Oh dear! Oh no! Oh dear! Oh dear!
You're going to grass on me, aren't you?
You're going to besmirch me!
Blast you! Be a no scare, squire!
There goes that fourth wall again!
I think, isn't it like Mr. Locum Student Naruhodo Esquire?
Yeah, sorry, yes.
Locum student Naruhodo
Yeah,
Esquire.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer.
Oh no! They
Damn it
found
all!
it!
Vroom.
Confound them!
Yes! There were two teacups in this room all along.
Ah! No!
In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's Last Supper,
Yeah. Oh,
Bruce Fairplay was there.
I was just thinking that. It's like, oh,
It's like they've used his silhouette because it's like, oh yes, it's a stereotypical
yes.
English gentleman, but like it's just clearly Bruce Fairplay.
Yeah.
There was a guest present.
It's Sholmes now. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. Oops, sorry.
In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table?
It wasn't me! It wasn't me! Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear. Oh, no! Fiddlesticks!
Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death?
Oh no! It's happening again! It's just like last time! Please! I don't want to go to jail!
Need I say more?
Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is not the trembling
Buffoon.
but actually, this broken lock that's missing. Sorry, this broken doorknob that's missing a lock.
It's kind of like you just imagine that there's a guy covered in blood with an axe in one hand and a gun in the other. It's like, yes. What proves the individual that's guilty of this murder is, and then Sholm zooms in on the background. It's just a glass of water. Sitting on the table.
One must not assume that things are always as they seem, Mr. Naruhodo.
I suppose that's fair. I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now.
Halcyon, yeah. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap.
But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling
I
about.
don't know why they won't just spell it out, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
Naruhodo.
No, I suppose not.
What?
Time to look around again. To what will undoubtedly be Soseki-san, quivering in the corner like a madman.
No! You're right, sir. She's grumpy because, like, she said Naruhodo, but it came out as like, Naruhodo. Amused
The
me.
only problem with Susato is I run out of breath very easily.
Yeah,
with
she
her.
is very breathy.
I mean,
I don't like
at least
this.
you didn't say Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
No, I just say, hey,
I did listen back to the episode, and Pete was correct.
Yeah.
I did, in fact, say Ryunosuke
Twice.
twice.
It was kind of cute.
It is cute.
Right, I've actually forgotten what we're supposed to be looking for. Right, so what reveals the answer of the
Soseki, presumably.
the identity of the visitor? Candle.
Can you go the other way?
Books. I mean, the books may, because
Oh,
obviously he's
yes.
got like a heck ton of books.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good thought.
I don't know about the wine. I mean, screw it.
I think it'll be the book.
Let's just click on stuff.
At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
Like all 3 of them are by Soseki Natsume. It's like, oh shoot.
I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read Monsieur Lecoq.
There it is again.
Yep, there he is. Oh no. It's the world's first selfie. The world's first
dick
Diku
pic.
Piku. The world's first dick pic. Oh no.
The picture.
They knew what they were doing.
Again, they I mean, when you hear I've never heard yearning not used in some kind of like trashy romantic novel
Yeah.
context.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the first and second lead me to believe they're trashy romance novels. Let's see what the third is.
They've got to be like a Mills and Boone type.
I just feel like they knew exactly what they were doing
Oh, God,
when they
yeah.
wrote Lecoq there.
Yes.
Picture.
Yep. Absolutely.
Lecoq. I don't know. There's no way to say it that doesn't
No.
sound like the cock.
The cock. The picture, I can't even. I
Come on,
can't do
Susato.
it.
Come on, Susato. You have to say it with a straight face.
Susato, you
compose
seem to be
myself.
giggling an awful lot.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq. I can't simply.
Susato's like, I'm just going to borrow this for a moment, for no particular reason. She's like already flicking through the pages, like the one page.
A meal for Garbarao or something. Garbaroo?
Gaboriao, Gaboria,
Gaboriao?
Gaboriao, Gaboriao. I think Gaboriao.
Which doesn't fit. Yeah. which were the books that he had in the
Wait,
case.
I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What?
Oh, but did he purchase them for Mr. Shamspeare then, I guess?
Maybe.
Oh. Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What? What does this mean, do you think?
He's guilty.
I say with a gormless expression upon my countenance.
I really don't know what to make of it.
Susanoo!
Don't encourage him.
Oh, there we are. A pile of familiar books. Right. Empty bottle.
It's empty.
Well observed.
I get. I don't know what I expected.
I mean, well, Ryunosuke's next line is,
Empty of liquid, but full of air.
like, yes.
That makes you think, doesn't it?
No, no, it doesn't.
It makes me think.
Wow. Wow.
It makes me think that you're full of hot air. You should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time.
Oh, very good,
All right,
Susato.
then.
If only said
Did
with a
someone
little
not have
more
her
gusto.
breakfast today? My goodness. Bother. Susato-san's quip in response was cleverer than my original riddle.
It wasn't really a riddle, though. Right, okay. Candle. I mean, we know it's the books, but...
Even Mr. Shamspeare didn't eat candles, it seems. Although, I will say that leaving a lit candle next to a large quantity of wooden
Wood does seem a
structure
bit
seems like
un-
ill-advised at best.
Yeah.
We've already established that he didn't eat soap either.
Ah, do you think perhaps the guest brought this candle here last night?
Even if he or she did, does it reveal anything about the guest's identity?
Good point. There goes my idea. Snuffed out like that candle will be.
Assuming it doesn't set fire to the apartment.
If you sigh so deeply, Mr. Naruhodo, you're in danger of blowing out the flame.
Right, and okay, we're not going to do the broken lock. Pile of books. Ah!
There it goes again.
Oh my goodness! Oh no! They've
Indeed.
noticed!
What reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books.
Oh god! Oh no! Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. I don't know what happened to my voice. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth, as opposed
I like
to
to
the
imagine that he
past.
doesn't actually know what the link is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he does.
Oh no! They've spotted it!
Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop.
Oh gosh! That's just coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment.
No bother.
No, never! Non-negotiable!
If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours.
Damn it!
What? He just turned into a cactuar. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that.
In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. He walks like that.
Yeah.
Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey.
Oh, dear.
Ah, In short, there is only one possible conclusion. That as the sparks of marital discourse flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Anyway, the victim died here in his room last night as a result from poisoning.
And that same night, the victim had a visitor.
And that visitor...
I'm looking at you.
Oh, here we go. Was you,
Mr. Soseki Natsume?
That was Ryunosuke, not Herlock. So I don't know what I'm just going to pretend I didn't.
Well,
say
usually they say stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction.
Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. I do believe I deserve some credit for this as well.
Ta-da! Elementary.
Not again! Not again! Not again! No, not again!
Oh dear.
Well then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to Scottish Yard. Again.
But wait! Hold your horses!
Yes.
Door, key, locked, entry, exit, entirely impossible.
He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal.
I'm glad I brought chips to this show, I have to say. What, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy.
What?
You live in the same building after all. You'd have plenty of opportunity, I'm sure.
But misery me!
Sorry, sir, you'll get your chance to give your side of the story later in court.
The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Moustache. You horrible Herlock Sholmes!
He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he?
Come on now, no dilly-dallying or shilly-shallying. Outside there's a carriage rate.
He's actually really constipated and he just can't help. He's not actually that angry. He's really struggling now.
I really need the time.
He's gonna break his teeth at this rate.
Yeah.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. I never imagined I'd be back in this position again, but you have to help me! Please! I'm innocent!
Even if you were the one that exposed what happened, I still want your help!
All right, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it.
And one more thing.
Oh? Yes?
My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me!
Oh dear.
And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken, Soseki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in the case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective,
I was not involved in, I will assure.
I was a
Herlock.
neutral third party.
My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you.
Wait, why are you in my thoughts?
Get out. Shoo.
Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. And of course,
What?
have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamspeare.
Yes, it was.
There he is.
Rather disappointed, too. He was quite the payer. Like, he paid quite the wage. All 2 pence.
Mr.
on
John
it.
Gerardeb, yes.
All 2 pennies per month, yes.
I expect we can find him sitting in his sitting room on the top floor as usual.
If we really must. Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then.
Now, didn't we unveil that in the ending credits that he dresses as his own maid now?
Yes, he does. Yes.
So we'll have to see if we see that.
Oh.
Because that was quite funny. Okay, so right, are we going to examine or do we go see Mr. Garideb?
Garideb.
What do we want to do, team? How much time we got?
Let's go talk to Mr. Garrett.
Let's go talk to Mr. Gar.
Unless Suzado's like, no, Mr. Naruhodo, we have to stay here.
That's true.
To be-
Let's see.
To be fair, we probably should just examine. Oh, I don't know. All right, fine. A new location's been added. Yay.
Oh, okay. She already says, I feel we need to spend a little more time investigating here.
All right.
Well, I guess that's what we're doing.
This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances?
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience.
Or actors aspiring to be a voice actor have to practice their acting. And YouTube.
In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
What?
Then you could practice your art every single day.
It's cute that she's referring to it as art.
Yeah.
I'll think about it, if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help achieve your goal.
Aw, Susan.
Aw.
She's so good.
This I have to see.
I mean, you haven't seen me dressed as
It
a
would be
dashing
worth it
young
just
man.
for that alone.
Huh. Where's the lamp?
This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. And that light is clearly lit, isn't it? You can definitely see that it's on.
Gas lights, a gas stove.
Gas stove?
Yeah.
Sorry. No, don't be grumpy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh no.
Yes, you are so sorry.
I am a little bit. It was gas lights and gas. It's not gas. It's gas. 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 Get the gas, man.
Gas.
Better than the boatman.
Of God.
Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas.
But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
dear.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Uh-oh.
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove. Did it again? Gas stove up there.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier.
Okay. This thing. And that's
And
is
here
that
we
the
have
meter?
another disproportionately large
Yeah,
machine.
The gas meter.
This one looks like a meter of some kind.
Excuse me.
This is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Huh, that's kind of neat. Dystopian, but neat.
I mean, that is a thing that you can do, like, even now.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can have-
not with cash, but like you can top up a card. Like electric and gas can be on a card, and you like go to a shop
You go
and you
to it-
say, "Oh, I
yeah.
want, I don't know, however much money put on it," and then you put it on it like adds credit to the meter,
Huh. Yep.
and then you have like you can see how much is on it and how much is left, and then top up
Yeah.
as and
You
when.
can watch your value ticking down as you use
Yes,
it.
you can watch it slowly trickling away.
But yes.
Ah, I see. Yes, now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here?
That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
But would it?
Damn it! I've literally been waiting.
In this day and
Wait,
age, I don't think it would
so
buy you 2 hours.
if you were a poor... So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold.
But would you
have
have
to
to
sleep
sleep
in
in
the
the freezing
freezing
cold?
Yeah, sorry, that was my in for the ultimate cliffhanger that I am.
It's like-
To say, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Yes.
Unless we just want to finish this quick and then end it.
What?
No. We have to leave them in suspense.
Okay, well, I guess.
So you'll have to find out next time if you'd sleep in the freezing cold if
Yes,
you had
indeed.
no money.
Thank you very much for watching, tuning into our silliness. If you
Tolerating
do-
our rubbish.
Oh, rubbish. If you do like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you're notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
Indeed.
So see you later.
See you later, guys.
And remember, isn't it great that we live in a time where you're no longer limited to being in the cold if you're a poor person? That's definitely something that doesn't still happen now. We've definitely advanced so far from the Victorian era times. Ha ha.
Funny.
Ha ha.